Well, it is time to sew in our signatures. Very excited about this because I'm trying something new today and I think it's going to work out really, really good. Leslie over at 507 Willow House Journal said, get an old book, okay, and mark it in the book. And so what I've done is I picked the middle of the book, and then I picked an inch from the bottom and then 1.5 inches, because I think that'll depend on how I set the my signature in. And you go ahead and you know, make giant holes in this, which is what I've done. See, it's sticking out, okay? So I've got those all set, and they're really easy. Once you have really big holes, it's like really simple to do this. Okay, just making sure all my holes are really gigantic. Okay, so I'm going to be using this book. If you want to try this, try it, and we'll see how it works. Okay, what I've done next is I've taken the third signature and I measured what's the actual height. And my height is 11. So 5.5 is the middle. And I made a mark on my paper. And you will never notice it. It won't bother me. Now, I've gone ahead and made sure I recreased everything and I have everything in the right spot of where I want it in the middle and things like that. So I've used my big paper clips, right? And you just really push this down into the signature of the book. And I did that like that. And then it was just so simple. I was just able to go looking that way and then this way, right? To go right into the hole that I've already chosen. Now let me get my little mat so I don't plug holes into my whole desktop here. Okay, so I've got the first one done. And all I did, as I said, is I just decided that's the middle of my page, and then on the ends, I'll just pick the right one. So that one's all done. This was so much simpler than the last time I did it. And then I decided to do the lower one because it's already 11. You know, I mean, it's so many inches up. So then I chose the lower one, and all you do is you just kind of start poking it through, but then you lift this back up and your hole is right there. That's why this is actually, oops, I'm going into my desktop. And so I've got that one done, and then I did the same on this. That was pretty simple. So the holes are there. I went ahead and pulled it away and just did like I just showed you. I just pushed it through again to make sure that I have a nice big hole that I can see where it is. Okay, so that signature is ready. Let's do the next two. So we're going to take that off for here because we're going to put that on a different place. I'm just checking. So I've added some pages since you saw the other video. I went ahead and I had already colored 2 large doilies, a yellow and a pink one. So I've inserted them into there. And then I added a couple other pieces of paper. And I just did I embossed a piece of vellum because I thought that would be pretty in there. So that's there also. So there's my very middle. Now I want to make sure my middle is evenly spaced in the middle so that it gets, you know, picked up in there, right? Okay, what I'm going to do now is I am going to put my big paper clips. Whoops. Didn't catch those two. Hold on. Put my big paper clips back on there. Okay, well, it's kind of tricky when you have all different sizes of paper, isn't it? Yep. I can always move this around. Okay, now I've got that caught in there correctly. Okay, let's do another paper clip on the back. So the trick is to have it secured, that's for sure. Okay, so now it's more secured. And what I'm going to do on this one is the same thing that I just did on the other one, where I'm going to mark my 5.5. Because all I have to do is mark the 5.5 on the paper, which we know is 11. And then that makes everything really simple. Let's do it this way, Diane. So that's 1 to 11, and 5.5 is right there. on that side, and I'm going to do it over here also. I'm just going to bring it over there. So now I know that's my very middle. Okay. Get our book back. Now find the middle line on my paper and put it up against, if you'll notice I made these lines on here in bright color. So all I have to do is just push it down in there like that. And I am, hold on one second. Oh, I'm way off. There we go. Okay, that goes there. Let me make sure. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go this way because there's where I know it is. Let's do that first. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to do it the other way and go back through. That way I know I have it in the book all the way in the right spot. Okay, sorry you're not going to get a good view of this. Okay, so there we go. So there's our first one, which is right where I wanted it. Okay, the next one down here is right there. And let's go ahead and push that through. Yep. I'll push it through, and then I'm going to push it through the book. You just kind of line all this up. I see why she said this was so simple, and I don't have my deep there. Okay, so we've got that one lined up. Now let's put this one up here. And this one should be, well, it's way up here. So this is only going to be held in the middle, which is fine. That actually works. It's okay. So you go right there. And I went right through and into the hole in the book. Okay, this is so much simpler than the way I did the last time. So now I feel like I can really do this. Yes. Okay, let's go back through and make sure the hole's nice and big. Yep, that one is. That one is. And this one is. So it'll make it a whole lot easier when we start sewing. Okay, so that one's done. One more. So first we measure. Let's measure and get our little mark. Take that off for a second. So we're going to go to 11 and find 5.5. 5.5 is right there. Oops. 5.5 is right there. Okay, and I'm just going to pull that over. Again, my design paper, it is pretty, you're not going to ever see those little marks that I just made. No one will ever see it. So now we got to get to the very middle. There's the middle. Okay, and now let's put this back on here. So we're holding it all together. And we're going to put this one on here. Okay, so the paper clips are a really good thing to have. And then this book. Okay, now I understand why I didn't like doing this. It was so hard the way that I was trying to do it. So once you get, you know, the right tools and get yourself set up, makes it really simple. Yep. Yeah. Makes it very simple. Okay, so we've got that one done. Come down here. I want this one right. It's right there. Go through. You go through your signature, and then you know punch it into the book. There we go. But be careful, Diane. See, I'm going to end up with a hole in my mat. I don't want that. Okay, last one. We're back at the, you just keep it lined up. Okay, and I put it right into the book. And we are good to go. Oh, wow, I'm so excited now that I know how to do this right. Yep, that goes right there. This is right there. Perfect. Okay. All my holes are ready. That part's done. Oh, no, it's not. Let's see. Okay, next part is get out the spine. What I have to do now is I have to make my marks on my hidden signature, okay? So the easiest way to do that is to take a piece of paper, make it the exact same width and the exact same height as your hidden spine, okay? So I've got that done. And here's why this makes this so much simpler. Now, all we're gonna do is do all the folding. That way you don't have to do all the numbers and the measuring and drive yourself crazy, okay? So we're gonna fold it in half. Now this part I learned from Kathy's Garden. She's the queen of that. And what you do is you keep marking. So there's my halfway point, right? Okay. And then, what did I do on that one? Okay, we're gonna do the width. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold it in half this way also. So now I'll know exactly, we'll go by that, okay? So there's our, so we've got our horizontal and we've got our vertical. So we know that. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to push these into here like that, line that back up to the fold line on one side, and we're gonna do it on the other side. And basically what I'm doing is dividing this without having to do math in my head or on a calculator, which of course I'm not real good at doing that anymore. Okay, we're gonna mark that. Right, we're gonna mark this one. Okay, so now what we have, because we're doing three signatures, right? So I have 1, 2, 3. And that's leaving me that much on each side. Is that what I want? That's the question now. I don't think that I'm leaving enough space in between. I feel like this one should be out here more and this one should be out there more, because I don't need them quite so close together, right? Okay, what if, let me fold this again. Let me just fold it like that, and I think that would be the better line to put the spine in. So then that gives me a nicer spread. That's like an inch. Is that gonna work? And if we do that, same on this, does that work, Diane? I'm filming this and then it may be totally wrong and I may have to redo the whole thing. Okay, we'll try. Okay, so now I folded that way. So like I said, this is a good way to do stuff when you're just trying to do, you know, like when you're trying to divide something in half or whatever. That's the way to do this. Okay, so we've got that one. So let's see if that works better on both sides. I think it might be the secret, if that was the right way to do it. Okay. Okay, so now, what if I pick, this is the center, right? And then I put one there and one there, leaving those away. Okay, then how far apart does that give us? That's an inch. That's an inch. Okay, I think that's better. I think that's the better thing to do. Now the question is going to be, is that too close to the edge? No, I guess not. Okay. Okay, so we've got that. And then, let's see. I did not do this part on here. Where did I mark it? There's where the holes are is going to be different. So my hole is right there. And my hole is right there. Okay, so that's the way they all are. So you know what we're going to do? I am just going to fold this on that line because I've already punched the holes, right? So we know that's where the second set is. Okay, there's that. Fold it straight, Diane. Okay, so then that gives me a hole there, 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 and here, 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 here. Now, does that line up with what we just did? See why this is easy on a piece of paper? Because if I do all this wrong, I'll just start all over again. Okay, so there's my hole, and there's that hole, and there's that hole. See, that works perfect. There we go. That is perfect. Now, the only thing I'm noticing, and I'm just going to experiment, right, is that maybe these should have been up farther, but then that book wasn't big enough to go up further. But you know what? I'm just going to make it work. I think that's plenty to hold it in. Okay, so now what do I do with this? What I do with this is I've got to put these marks onto here, right? So now what I could do is, look, I could just glue that right on there, and then I know exactly where they are. Wouldn't that work, Diane? Yeah, why don't I just do that? Then that makes my life really simple. Then I'm just plugging into there, and it's just paper. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's glue this onto here, which means I didn't need to worry about the coloring and putting the white cardstock on if I'm going to do this. So, okay, lesson learned. This is good. I'm learning all that. Okay, so now we've got that glued. So now what do we do? What we do now is we take our awl and we are going to put our holes exactly where we're going to line them up. So there we go. There's our first hole right into there. Okay. And there's our next one. And I'm going right in there. I guess I could do this in the book, but I don't know. That just didn't. I didn't feel like it was going to work right. So I'm doing it this way. This is Diane's way. And I'm comfortable. I think it'll work. We'll find out, right? It's only paper and fabric. I can start all over again. There we go. This just seems so much easier than using that book to try and find like all these spots. This is just, it's right on the money. I already measured it out. There we go. And then this is right here. Okay. And there. Okie doke. Well, I feel like that is ready. Okay, so we got the spine ready. Now we will actually physically sew them in. Time to sew our things in. I've already done one. So I've done the first one off camera to make sure I remembered how to do this correctly. So it's the back one, and you want to make sure that you know what the top of your spine is, right? And that's the correct writing is in the correct way. So that one's in. So what we're going to do is we are going to take our next one, and it's going to be the middle one, okay? And we are going to go through the hole. And again, you have to kind of play with it. There we go. This is why you play and make those holes wide. Put it right through there. Pull your thread through. You're going to leave a tail, right? Let me turn it this way. Now I'm going to go down here, and I already know where the hole is. It's nice and large, and that's easy. And now I'm just going to match this up. And again, I made my holes, I reamed them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so there we go. We're going to pull that through there. Now you want to make sure when you're pulling this, you don't want to pull too much because you don't want to move your tail away, right? Got that. We're going to go back through here. Back through the top. Okay, and through that. Okay, so now we've got all three done. See, and we still have our tail here, right? Now what we're going to do is we are going to go back in through the middle, and don't split your thread. So it helps when you have like reamed that hole out a little bit so that it's large. when I've done it before and I didn't do that, I split the thread and then you have to start all over again, which is not fun. Okay, so we went back through there and we're going to go back through here. And again, my holes are large, so I don't feel like I'm going to make a mess. And I should be able to just stick it right through there. Let's see. Nope, hold on. Now, this is the hard part because I'm trying to do it on camera. There we go, went right through. Okay, so once you get all that, now we're going to tighten things up. Okay, so we've got that through there. There's my tail. Where's the end of this? There we go. Okay, now I'm going to pull that. I'm going to pull that one tight, and I'm going to pull this one tight. I'm going to pull those both tight, right? You can take the needle off. So now you want to pull each one the way it goes. Okay, and I want to make sure this is all in correctly, the right way. Yes, it is. And do I have it tight? Almost. See, it's not tight like the other one is. So we really need to pull this over here on this side. I'm going to pull this side. I'm going to pull that side. There we go. And then you loop it underneath. You loop one to the right and one to the left. So you're tying them all together. Okay, once you loop it, you're going to pull one last time, make sure it's nice and tight. There we go. And then it should kind of stay tight like that. And then we're going to tie a knot. Okay, come on. There we go. Let's see, did we get it in nice and tight? Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so, and look, it's all perfect. Oh my gosh, I'm getting good at this. Okay, there we go. I tied it twice, and I definitely had way more than I needed, but that's okay. Better to have more than not enough, right? Okay, look at, we've got our 2 signatures in. See how nice it's looking? Let's do one more. Okay, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3 and a little bit. Now, I bought a bag of assorted colors. See, here's my bag of the waxed linen thread. I bought that. That'll probably last me the rest of my life. I won't need any more. Some people use embroidery floss. I just don't think that's strong, but that's me. Okay, here's our final front one. Okay, so what do? We start in the middle. We go in our big hole. Make sure we're lined up. Yep, see, we got that right in there. Hold on, let me get on camera. Got to move stuff around to get on camera. Okay, we went through there. There's our middle one, and we're all set with that. Okay, and go back in the middle and look. Now there's my tail, which, okay, that tail's way too long. I don't have enough on my needle. There we go. That's plenty to leave there, okay? And so we came through, and we're on the back side, right? See, I just came through the back side. I'm going to do it this way just to show you. I'm going to go down here, go through the spine part first. So I'm through there. Now I'm going to line up where that hole is. And again, as I keep saying, got to make sure that you have that hole wide enough. That's what I found is my little saving grace here. Okay, and then you kind of have to angle it. You have to angle it to make sure you're getting through all the papers the same way that you punched the hole. See, we punched the hole straight, and now I'm angled, and that's, okay, hold on. And that's where I'm going to run into a problem here. Okay, why is it there? Okay, I just had to play with it. So you have to do a little playing, I think, is kind of what happens, right? Okay, let's move it back around the correct way, Diane, so I'm all lined up. Okay, so we've got that. See, there's my first one, okay? Now we're back in the middle, we're back in the inside, and I'm gonna go in the top. And again, wiggling it through that I am in the right hole, so that I'm not creating a new hole. That's the trick. Yeah, hold on one second. No, see, it's trying to create a new hole. Okay, see, I want to turn everything around and then I get the threads pulled out. Hold on one second. So there it is. Okay, Father, please help me do this well and do it simply. Definitely this takes my prayers because it takes patience. Okay, why is it that I'm having such a problem? It's like the hole's here, but I can't connect it to where it was. It doesn't seem like anything moved. It's like my hole went somewhere else. There. Okay, I got it. I didn't have it angled right. Okay, so we've got that coming through there, right? And I got to put it in this hole here. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, let's look. See, we're right here. Okay, and I don't want to lose my tail. Okay. So, I'm back here for a second, just to show you. Let's see if we can pull that a little bit tight. No. What am I pulling? I feel like I'm pulling something the wrong way, but whatever. Okay. So I'm coming here. Now I go back through the middle. My hole is nice and big, enough that I don't go through the thread. And so is that hole, and I'm going to go right to the side of where it is. Okay, come on, go in. Oh, look, it just went right through. Yes, okay, okay. Yeah, I have too much thread on this one. There we go. Oh, see, now I did go through. Okay, but look, it's easy. I can just pull it right back out, and we're at the end, so I don't have to start all over again. There, okay. Now we're set up. Now let's look back over here, right? We've got them all done. They're done correctly. Now we just have to pull everything and tighten it. So remember how I showed you. I'm going to pull, looks like I'm in the wrong hands. Okay, now we pull it nice and tight. We loop it under, loop this one under, and we will have our signature all sewn in. And Diana's going to be so happy because those of you who are new, you'd be like, oh, she made this look so easy. What you didn't hear me. Oh, no, it didn't go underneath the right way. This is my third attempt. No, my second. Yeah, because I just learned I'm learning how to do this. Why is this acting weird? Oh, that's why I'm going under the wrong way. Anyway, I just finished the Resurrection Hope. And I was able to do it. It was a little bit tough. It was a little tricky, but I feel like I finally got it. And so this is the simplest one that I've done so far. Okay, before I go tie it, I want to see. Yes, got it tight enough. Okay, so back here, I've looped them around. I've pulled them both each way, and now we are ready to knot. There we go. There we go. Oh my goodness. Let's see, Diane. Yes. Okay, you know what? I think it's going to work out really good. So if you watched me at the beginning of this video, I was saying I felt like I needed to have more space in between. And I'm glad that I gave myself a whole inch because that means this can really, really grow. And that's what I have learned, that I'm getting really good at, growing them with wise. So we'll take all those off. There is our gorgeous spine, and it is ready to go right into our journal. So let's just hold it here. And looking good, Diane, looking real good. Okay, there we go. It's looking good. Okay, next step, we will be gluing this in. So I'm going to do a little bit of playing off camera, and then I'll show you how we're going to. So I think it looks good. And as I said, this was an experiment for me to leave more space in between my signatures. Because if we look at this one, the signatures are much more close together, but you see how fat they are. And of course, that's why it's like that, right? Sorry, I'm moving it around so much to show you. It's kind of hard to show you. Okay, so next step is to glue it into our journal. And then we have finito and we're ready to play and decorate. What I've gone ahead and done now is I had left extra fabric on the end and on the top, and I've just wrapped that around and put some glue on it so that it has a nice finished edge, which is what I wanted. And then this seems to be curling, so I'm gonna have to try and pull that out with when I glue it. And so if we lay it on there now, and just see how it fits in. I can see from the top, see how I folded that back and it looks really good. And the same on the bottom. So we are all set. Okay, next step to glue this, I am going to glue here and on here. I think that's going to be our best bet. So let's start with glue stick first. And then we're going to add glitter glue to it. So we'll get a nice good base. I'm sorry, I have to be so careful because I start just making things and then I look up and I realize it's got camera shake. Okay, so we got that down. Nice. Now let's get the big nozzle glitter glue. Hopefully it's going to come right out. And I am going to, yeah, there we go. We are just going to add lots of glue on here. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Gonna put lots of glue on here. It's gonna be a glue party. They're gonna be all happy, 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 getting glued together. Okay, now this might be difficult on the camera, so I have to, you know, make sure I get it in there right, and I have to try and film it. So let's hope I can just do it in there easily. So let me turn it a little bit this way, so I can get my head in the right spot to see where I'm at with the edge of it. I gotta get the edge over to the edge. Okay, that edge is there, that edge is there. I'm not worried about the extra fabric right this moment. What I'm not worried, but I'm focusing on lining up where the spine goes, okay? That I wanna fit it into where the spine is. And so far, that's looking good. Okay, so let me massage all that glue together. Let's close it before I really close it. There we go. That's looking good. That's looking good. Okay. I think we got it. Yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use my glitter glue to glue all the fabric down where we want it. And again, because I tore it, it's like a, not a selvage, it's a loose part. I'm gonna get my hands really glued up here. I want the fray to come out. So this is where we're just playing and making sure we got it in there exactly the way we want it to be. Like I said, it just naturally keeps wanting to make a little fold, and I don't want the fold, so here we go. We put enough glue on it. It lets me manipulate it. There we go. There we go. So I haven't mentioned to you in this video series yet, but you know that this is Tim Holtz fabric. And I don't know if you follow Kara Brandon Creations. I love her. She just seems like such a sweet woman. And she decided to do the 100-day project. And then she's also doing the April ABC project too. So she's been posting like every single day. And she is a digital creator also. And she went ahead and she made papers that coordinate with this whole fabric series. So she made pink, red, orange, and yellow, because that's the 4 colors that are out. Green's coming out this week. But anyway, so I got her paper set, and I'm really excited. I actually included a couple already in there. And that's going to be fun because it's going to coordinate with the fabric. How cool is that? And she's got some really fun ephemera pieces, too, that you'll see me using. So between Kara's paper kit, digital kit, and my digital Pink Parfait and my Sunshine Serenity. I got lots of paper, lots of ephemera. Now hopefully you watched the video where I just showed you that I went ahead and I made an ephemera kit for the Pink Parfait series and one for the Sunshine Serenity. Oh my gosh, I put so much fun stuff in there. So if you already have my Sunshine Serenity or Pink Parfait 1, 2, 3, you really want to look for the ephemera kit that I came out with, because it's just awesome. It's just treasure trove. There's 142 pieces in one and 145 in the other. So you're going to get a ton of stuff, and you're going to see me use it all. Plus, everything in my store just went on sale today, 25% off everything. So definitely you want to stock up. The sale ends Monday after Easter. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do, we're going to open it a little bit this way, and we are going to put some more glue in, and then we will be finito with sewing the signatures and putting in our hidden spine. And look, I did it in one video and I wasn't frustrated. Yay! I figured out how to do it. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Donna. Leslie from 507 and Donna from Twisted Paper Studios. They are the ones that I've been following, and they've been teaching me how to do this. Sorry, that's probably weird on the camera, but I wanted to get that in there. So now I have to leave it, let it dry, but look how beautiful it is. We open with our papers. This is a piece from Kara Brandon. That's a piece from her. She did the stamps. Yes, this is gorgeous. Now I can start adding lots and lots of chunky, fun things. Okay, there's the first one. Looking good, looking good. Yes. Uh-oh, now where'd that come from? Oh, you know what? That was supposed to be in there. I didn't get it in. Well, I can just glue it in. It'll work. Okay, that's supposed to go in there. I'm just going to set that there. Okay. There's another piece from Kara. There's the ticket page. I'm just checking to see if I missed any other papers. No, we got that one in. We got that one in. Oh, I added this. This is from one of those art books that I got about the ancient art. And I just loved this of Mary and Jesus. There we go. And there's the back of her. Yep, that all came through. Okay. Second one is good. First ones I can fix because I didn't make a big mistake, just didn't get caught. Okay, that one we added that way. Yes, yes, yes. Look at that. Everything is in correctly. Oh, it's so beautiful already. This is going to be so much fun over the next week or so, making lots of ephemera with you all. There we go. It is all put together. So please like this video. Let me know, did this help? Now that I learned how to do it, was I able to teach you how to do that? Or maybe you're already a wizard at this. What do you think of the papers? What do you think of the way I did it? And please share this video and definitely be subscribed, because like I said, now there's going to be lots of videos where we're going to make the most gorgeous ephemera into this junk journal. Blessings till next video.